big excitement in my soul about connecting with other people like you. And, just like the post I put out the other day, like reading what everybody does just lights me up. And I want more people to know what everybody does, and also network to where, like, I know I can help sell products for you and vice versa. Like, I think every one of us are amazing individuals and we're here to get shit done. And that's kind of where I'm at. So, I'm not on here to, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing on here. I'm on here because my guides tell me this is what I need to do. And so here I am, and I'm winging it. I don't really have a plan. I just know that I interviewed a lady last week. It went great. I enjoyed myself, and I had this instant fulfillment of, I want to do this again. And so, of course, you were one of the first persons that I jumped on. Like, I am really interested. Like, there's not very many people that are doing what you do. So tell me, like, how did that happen?
Well, it definitely goes back to about 7 years ago.
Okay.
I was going through a mentorship for mediumship.
Yeah.
And my mentor, amazing woman, she was obsessed with this thing she called the chakra prescription.
Okay.
She very emphasized on us of working a chakra a day, going up, yada, yada. Well, it definitely helped us connect to spirit, helped us do better mediumship readings. And so it worked. You could see how it brought the vibration up. Mm-hmm. Well, out of the blue, just, spiritual surfing of what can you do differently. I seen that there was a shop in my town that had a light bed. And it was just like, ooh, I want to. And I went in and looked at it. And I was like, I don't want a session with that. I want one.
That's how I got here. It's like, oh, I don't know what that is, but I need it.
I looked at it and it set my soul on fire. And I want one. So I went home and priced them. And John of God bids were $10,000. Mm-hmm. And excuse my French, I said, fuck that shit. I'm going to make my own.
Yes.
So I built the first one and my mentor got it.
Yeah.
And then I bought enough supplies to build 3. My other friend wanted one, but she ended up not being able to afford it. So I put it up for sale.
Yeah.
And it sold on Etsy. I bought the supplies to buy 3 more. Mm-hmm. And I've sold 427. I think you're like number 300 and something.
Wow. Well, I kind of got the impression when I did buy that one, you'd been doing it for a short time, but I remember you telling me, like, you still worked a full-time job. Are you still doing something? Or I remember you were telling me that your guides were pushing you to do this full-time.
Well, with us moving here from Utah into Oklahoma area and everything, trying to get our ducks in a row for retirement, I was working full-time corporate, full-time building my lights. And then my guides forced me to, they told me quit building them, go out and heal. So I also would go do vendor events and do healing sessions there. Yeah. They work out amazing. I take my pyramid, I take my lights, I take my wands and all things frequency. I have singing bowls and everything. And I do healing sessions, quick little 20-minute tune-ups, and people love them. They come to the fairs looking for me. I guess it was my way of spirit told me to quit hiding in the shadows.
Gotcha. I remember a story of you telling me about the same time my guides were pushing me, that they were pushing you as well.
Yeah. And then I did start another side hustle because side hustles just aren't enough, let's have a third time job. I left corporate, and unfortunately my husband did start a new business. It's a little tight. So I just went back to corporate about 2 weeks ago, but it's only going to be for about 6 months. Yeah. Just got to get one little bill recaught up from his adventure. Mm-hmm. then we'll be reset, because he was enjoying the fact that I was able to full-time my spiritualism, and I started the laser engraving, because you were one of the first gifts I sent that way with your
Yeah.
business on it. And so I do that, and he enjoyed knowing that I was here with the dogs and homemaker and taking care of that. So I
Yeah.
hope it can return back around to that shortly.
Yeah. And that's kind of with me. Like mine, I don't know. I look back on it and it went so fast. Like one day, you know, like I said, I saw the stuff for the Spooky 2 and the frequency equipment and didn't really even know what I was purchasing. I was just like you said, my soul just went on fire, and it was like, you have to have that. Then I had to order some more stuff because, of course, I didn't even order everything I needed. Really just got into it for me and my family. And then word of mouth, I had more people coming in and was seeing clients in my home. And then one of my clients said, well, you know, I've got a massage room at my beauty shop and spa. Why don't you use it? That way you don't have everyone coming in your home. And that seemed great. And she had bought a 40 by 16 building and turned it into a beauty shop on her property. And like, so she didn't have to pay rent. Like, she had her own place. And me being there, she really inspired me to do the same thing. So let's see, it was last June, I went and purchased a building. This is it. And had it put on my property. And me and my mother, and the help of my husband when he wasn't working, we laid the floors, we ran the electricity, we put in the insulation, the lights. You know, we've done everything here. And it's on my property. It's mine. And I have a 3-room treatment center. And part of my mission was, I live in a small town where not everyone who is holistic, you know, that has healing capabilities and wants to do that for a living can just go rent a building for $2,000 a month. It's just not feasible. So I wanted to supply for the networked people that I work with, the other healers, a place to come in. Like, if you were local, I'd say, hey, you know, if you want to come see a client, just let me know. I'll reserve the room for you. You come over and see your client. Because I think that's important. I think that's needed, that those people with wonderful healing gifts, and they're here to be a service to their community, has a place to do that. And I don't ask for commission or rent. I just feel like that it also benefits me. I mean, it just does. To be able to offer that. So I have not just me here, but I have a hypnotherapist that sees clients. I have a couple of Reiki masters, quantum touch. You know, I have other healers that will book through me, like just the building, to come see a client here. And we're building a community, and I just love that.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you were building. I think one of the last times we talked on the phone, you were building.
Yeah, I still have one room left that it's just now kind of starting to warm up to where we can kind of work outside and cut the paneling and cut what we need to. But when it, you know, drops down in freezing weather, it wasn't enjoyable to build. So we kind of put a hold on the last room. So we're actually going to start trying to finish it this week. And I don't want to stop there. Like, I want to continue to build this community, and I have more property that joins my property. And I hope in the future to even have like a nonprofit center and have retreat cabins. And like, I just want to build this wonderful, beautiful thing. And that's what I'm aiming towards. Of course, it takes time.
That's
but
awesome.
but that's
awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of my goal. I want a place where people can come and feel held and seen. And most importantly, like, there's so many people that don't realize their nervous system is just like constantly on. And you don't realize that you're constantly in survival mode because that's your normal. And so to be able to have someone come in and like get on the beds, feel that their body has finally relaxed for one moment in a long time, is a very beautiful thing to witness. And I have a couple of clients that came and they had told me, hey, I take medications to have a bowel movement. I can't have one for the last 15 years unless I take these pills. And she's like, I had 2 since I left your building.
You're like, yes.
And I'm like, yeah, because they didn't realize their nervous system was so turned on that everything's tight and everything is compressed, and they were literally in survival mode, as so many of us are, so it's just very beautiful to be able to help people, not just with their anxiety and their stress, or just having a day to, you would say, I'm taking a me day and I'm going to come lay on the crystal bed and under your beautiful lights and just receive this wonderful healing. But it also gave them a moment to know what it's like for their body not to be in survival mode. So then I follow it up with the frequency jewelry and the teas. And it's like, it's kind of like carrying your car to get a tune-up. Your body gets out of balance. And, you come in for a treatment, but why don't you leave with something that's custom designed for you to kind of stay in balance? And not everyone can afford a Healy or I don't really want to wear a box around my neck. I mean, I know they're great, but, it's a little aggravating too. But if you can slap on a bracelet or a necklace and it's got programmed frequencies to help you stay in balance, and it's $33, I mean, that's doable for anybody. So that's kind of what, I'm doing here too, and connecting with people like you that's on the same type of path, and just getting that information out there for the people that are looking for it.
That's awesome. And like you're even saying, I can see where you've grown. Like you incorporated even more, and you've incorporated more. And that's what my team keeps making me do. You can't just make the light. You can't just make the light. My customers, I will be totally honest, my customers have pushed probably 2/3 of my growth. One of the lights that I had sent to the UK, and a gentleman in the Eastern Coast area kept pushing me until I finally started making the wands. And the original crystals I had, people kept asking me, and I'm like, I can't figure it out. I haven't figured it out. Lo and behold, someone just put some in with silicone. I'm like, nope, I've got to figure it out. So then I figured out how to do the crystals, and then I increased up to the larger Vogel style crystals. Well, I now have a new one that I just found. I'm now using a 24-sided Vogel crystal.
Wow.
And they're nice. They're like,
yeah.
So my spirit team really does not, even though, like I said, I just want to be lazy. I want to sit outside. I want to feel the breeze, even though I know I'm connecting and I'm using the elements, but I just want to relax. And my team's like, no.
Yeah.
You got to mix it up, add something new.
Yeah. Well, I kept having these pushes to do teas, and okay, because I kept feeling like, at first I had just store-bought tea, but they kept telling me like there's something important about having a session and then them leaving with this hot, medicine, because we're 70% water, and like there was something they kept telling me about the integration of the treatment. And so a lot of it would be like, send them with some lemon ginger, send them with this, send them with that. Well, then for somehow it just developed into me thinking, well, I really don't want store-bought teas. Let me just order some, herbal stuff, and like I'll mix it myself. And then within like a month, I had this thought of, I'm going to do chakra teas. That would be cool. Like, somebody comes in here and they're having trouble with self-love and their heart chakra's, blocked. We can do a treatment, and then they can leave with a hot tea. And then I can frequency imprint that for like frequencies that actually go along with the natural frequencies of what I'm putting in the tea. Girl, I have got 7 chakra teas and 7 or 8 other teas also. It just went from like one idea to, oh, but then now I need an inflammation tea. Oh, well, now I need a sleep tea. Oh, well, now I need, and it just kept coming. Um, so I know what you mean. Like they'll give you this download and this instinct to do something and create something, and then it's like they just dump it. Like it just kept coming, and I just kept creating. But I get it. It's not just, I've always known healing's not a one-stop thing. Like just coming to me or just coming to you, I don't think is healing. Like, I think that healing is so much more of a embodied lifestyle. Because there's so many ways that we need to be healed. Teas are just one thing. The lights are one thing. Reiki's one thing. Mediumship's another. Balancing your chakras. There's just such a lifestyle to healing. And being a nurse, it's very important to me when someone has a health problem that they're told these are your choices, not this is what we're going to do. And like you're told in the fact of, you have no choice. This is the plan. And it really bothered me as a nurse to not know about any of this stuff. If someone wants to go through chemotherapy, that's completely fine. I don't push my thoughts on anybody. But it really bothers me that people are not aware of what all is out there that's healing.
Well, and that's the important thing too, is you can will yourself better and you can will yourself sicker. Mm-hmm. Our own mental capacity and our vibration, the healing we can do on that cellular level just by having that mm-hmm. faith and belief and the want.
Yeah, and raising those vibrations.
Yeah, like I said, you lay under these lights, they're vibrating, they're comfortable, they're beautiful. So you're in that acceptance mode to be able to take on that gift to heal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, and I didn't realize the lights and stuff is they are frequency, but it's frequency in color, because so many frequencies we can't see with our eyes. And that the colors that we actually see, the flowers outside, the grass, everything is that color because of its frequency, our energies. And, just learning all these things is just really made me be able to look out the window and see the world in a different way. And the fact that, you help someone to be able to take control of their own health and their own healing, it's empowerment. I want someone to feel like they're empowered when they have an illness or they have a situation that they're trying to take on. Not just to sit there and do what you're told. I encourage everyone, learn more about it. Go online, look up frequencies, look up Rife machines, do your own education. But there's nothing like experiencing it for yourself. And that's kind of how I got started. I had a Reiki session, and things happened to me that I couldn't explain as a nurse, and she wasn't even touching me. And I had the experience where, I saw energies and with my eyes closed, and I'm like, what is this? And I want to know more about it. Like, what just happened to me? And that just opened up the whole door for me to learn about all the different modalities, all the gifts that people have. And one Reiki master is completely different from another Reiki master. Everyone's different. But I want to meet everyone. I want to know about everyone, and I want to promote everyone, because what you do is beautiful and it's badass. And I see you in my mind with a torch, and you're just like, you're doing what you came here to do. And I just love it. And I love my lights. I know everyone that's bought them from you. And every time I'm on Facebook and I see you post every light that you sell, it just makes me smile.
I know. I stopped that for a short spell. And people are like, are you not selling your lights anymore? I said, well, I thought people hated to see that. And they're like, no, that's you. You got to do it. So I went right back to posting. I'd only skipped like 15 of them. But people, no, you need to post those. I'm like, okay. And then new friends, new followers, they'll finally ask, what does this mean?
Well, I did the same thing. And then it's so like when I see them, I'm like, you go, girl. It's just that confirmation that, you're out there doing what you're meant here to do.
I'm kind of posting the pin, I mean, we all are across the world and we're in a connective frequency. But every time I post that, I'm setting my light intention on that location for healing. Yes. And so I'm kind of spreading my web of healing out.
You're spreading your lights, It's like every one of us is a beacon of light for hope and love and healing. And you're doing that so much faster by being able to make this product that's actually going and like bringing your light to that area, because
and I had to make an affordable one. That one set my soul on fire, and I had to make it that other people could afford.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've had to do because, I'm a nurse, but nurses don't make as much money as people think they do, and sound beds are extremely expensive, and so I ran across one. I wanted it. And I ended up buying one from someone who took a massage bed and they pretty much built the sound bed into it. And I think I paid $1,100 for the sound bed I have. But it's almost like every single person that I have bought from has had that genuine heart to want to make a product that was affordable for anyone could afford to have and not be focused on profits. And that has been important to me too. So when I do my pricing for anything that comes in and out of the building, like I try to make it comparable to like a massage. I don't want healing to be something that someone thinks is out of their price range.
Definitely.
Yeah. So, we have to kind of still make a profit and still kind of be able to afford to buy the product and sell it. But it was very important to me to also work with individuals who had that same belief that, healing didn't have to be out of reach.
Definitely.
Yeah. So that's kind of what I've ended up with too. I have a lot of equipment that even with the Spooky 2, it's one of the more affordable Rife machines that's out there. I couldn't afford a $25,000 to $60,000 piece of machinery. That was out of my reach, but it seems to be a lot easier when I could afford, a couple of $1,000s to buy something, then I could have more money to invest in your lights and the sound bed. And
now, did you get a pyramid? I can't recall.
Did I get what?
Did you get the pyramid?
I did not, but that is on my list.
I was trying to remember because I've sold like 30 something of them. I always have to scroll back through from the last one I sold.
Yeah, like I'm kind of like you, like, and then having the center, like I want everything. Like I want the float tanks, I want to build what is those globes that you put outside that you get in that's clear and you see the sky dome, like I want it all.
Well, the neat thing, my husband is, we run into this a lot with spiritual people. My husband is not spiritual, typical. The day I finished the first pyramid in the house, he walked in, he goes, holy cow. And it's like, you feel the energy, that's what's kind of is you feel it and but I will tell you, when you get to the point of wanting one, really think about it, because my pyramids definitely have different. The one around the massage table is beautiful. People say it feels floaty, like you're on a cloud, you're on a wave, or something like that. Just that nice floating, drifting feeling.
Okay, that's funny you said that because my guides have been really downloading water beds to me.
Oh no! Look what I said.
I
feel that you can sit in or meditate in.
Uh-huh.
I have one of those folding couch chairs.
Yeah.
That I have put in under that, and you can set the whole thing up. That one really has a lot harder, more intense energy. And I think because it's more of the Russian nebulum pyramid shape type thing.
Uh-huh.
It's it's more of an aggressive vortex of energy.
Yeah.
It's more soft and wave-like.
Oh. Well, they keep like, and I'm laughing at them because I'm like, I hadn't got the third room done yet, but they keep telling me like, you've got the sound, you've got the vibration, you've got the infrared PEMF, you've got the heat. You need a place to let go. You need a place to, the flow of water. And they keep telling me like to put plants in there, to put fountains, and like they keep showing me like this super single size water bed that's heated with minimal flow. Um, but that would be really cool. Like when you said that, it dropped in my awareness like the pyramid over the water. Yeah. Mm. But yeah, they just keep giving me ideas, just like with the tea. So I will probably run into where someone's got a super single size waterbed frame that they're wanting to get rid of, and then I can still get the mattresses. But they keep telling me the importance of having like there's different stages of healing, and about the water, like the water takes things from you. I even had a moment to where I had these misters in the rooms that when I did energy work on the clients, I felt like when I was pulling things they were ready to let go of, I was releasing it into the steam to let the water take, the element take it. And so, yeah, they're really on to me about water right now. But when you said that description about the pyramid, they dropped the water back in my mind. So I may be getting that pyramid to put in that water room.
Well, let me know. Those I don't always have listed.
Yeah.
Right now, in fact, when you reached out, I was in the hometown that I created those from. I had gone home for a week back to Southern Utah.
Yeah.
And I did very well while I was gone. I'm going to be busy for the next week or two. That's when I'll be listing another pyramid. I usually only list one at a time because they take so long to build. They take me probably about 4 days if I just work hard on them.
Yeah.
And I've got to get caught up from my vacation before I relist. So if there's not one listed and you're at the point of wanting, message me, because I've had people reach out and go, when are you going to be listing? If you want one, I'll list it. It's just be patient. It's going to take me this long. They're like, okay, list it. And I will, and they'll go right in and buy.
Yeah. Well, great. Well, tell us for people that are interested in buying, like go ahead and describe again what different types of wands and the lights that you have and your prices and the process in which, they can reach out to you if they want one.
Yeah, what I have is I have the traditional 7 chakra light. It is built all out of copper, and I make it so the lights swivel. So as you have it hanging, you can aim it for the body size. So you can aim the one towards the crown and then the third eye and keep it on down and the heart center. And so that's the nice thing. If you have a very tall client, you can stretch it to where they're aiming at the correct chakra. If it's someone more short, you can kind of turn it more inward again. So you're aiming at the chakra, not just aiming at somebody's kneecaps because they're, short or something. So you can place them exactly where you want them. And I have one with no crystals for someone that's just getting a beginner set and doesn't want to get them. Then I have them with crystals. I have 6-sided crystals. They are about 2 inches long, and I have them in either clear quartz or selenite. And I kind of like the selenite because how it clears the aura. So I used to use that one to begin with, and then I got a larger light, and that one's the 12-sided Vogel. And the bells and everything that holds the crystals are even larger because it's such a larger crystal.
Yeah.
And it still does all the same features. And then, like I said, my team had me upgrade again, and now I have a 24-sided crystal. It's just a little bit longer than the 12, but again, all the vibration is crazy. I have color wands. It is a 3-watt flashlight that I end up putting a crystal on it, and I can do either the 6-sided or the 12-sided or the 24-sided crystals on them.
Okay.
And go through the cycles. I use them during my healing sessions. I'll have somebody lay on the bed and they lay on a biomat. So it helps with the inflammation. They've got that heated mat. They're laying on jade and tourmaline.
Yep.
And then I will take my wand and I'll first, click it, turn it on, and you hold it right at the root. And then you can start your energy flow and your movement. And then you push it like 3 times. It goes to the next chakra and you can just work that chakra and you can get the whole vortex going in that pyramid. And it just, I don't know, it just works. And I don't know. I
don't know.
I fully invented these. I know my team helped me a lot. I may know how to solder wires and this and that, but I definitely give my healing guides, my team, a lot of, because they had to have pushed me to make this.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of how I feel about, working in the quantum and working with the spooky too and the, this equipment that is physics. And, I barely passed math in high school. So I try to explain to people that, I am not a physicist. I cannot explain quantum entanglement on the level that a physicist can for you. But I get it. Like, I understand it and I can drive the bus. So I totally get when you're working with things and you're being guided and you're being pushed to do things from a higher source of knowledge. I totally understand that. Because I understand things with this equipment and working with people. And I've used your lights also for color therapy, not just for chakra balancing. When someone comes in and I don't know, my guides just told me with one client, put the lights on, use gold and pink. Okay. So I bring the lights in, I would put it in, I was doing work on her and she kind of laughed when she came in the room and she said, that's funny that those lights are golden pink because I just redid my bathroom and it's golden pink.
Mm-hmm. That's funny.
Yeah. And like, when you work with your guides, there's no coincidences. Like there's a reason why she needs those colors, or you can say frequencies in her life. And, I may not understand rhyme or reason behind that client's needs at that time, but my guides did. And so it's just really interesting to work with color and to work with frequencies. And a lot of times I don't know why I'm guided to change the room into green or to blue. I also use other types of lights to kind of set the ambience. And then I've got a projector in the room because when I use the sound bed, like for instance, with that lady, I was doing like a heart chakra session, and I would put the sound bed screen on binaural beats and pick a color for, let's say it was a hummingbird and it was pink and purple and gold. Well, it was at 528 hertz. Well, that's going to go into the bed. She's got the headset on, so it's totally immersing her whole body, which is 70% water, in a frequency, in a vibration. The color from your lights, the projector, the room ambience is all medicine. And once you understand that those colors and those frequencies and those lights are for, they're treatment for your body, it's very beautiful to witness and be a part of that.
You saying that is very funny because it's something I used to do. And it may be something you might like to include with your keys for after. I have a Bluetooth speaker water bottle that was all fine. And if you connect your frequency through that, you'll watch it vibrate as it programs the water. So you program the water on what you're working on. So then when you turn around and seep the tea after, it would also be programmed.
Yes. And I've done that as well. So like I was aware of how I can imprint with water. And you can even see like I have all these different colored bottles for like solar imprinting. So like you fill your bottle up, you set it outside, you're imprinting the color, which is the heart chakra, that green 528, into your water just by putting it into colored glass. So I had been doing imprints like that and with using the spooky. I really didn't know I could imprint the tea itself. And my guides started telling me they were pushing me like, look it up. How can you imprint like loose leaf tea? And I have a Spooky 2 scaler, which is a molecular device. It works with quantum energy. It's a little bit different than how I imprint the holographics in the water. And sure enough, there was education there on how I can put the tea, the loose leaf tea, in a glass container, put it on the coil, and put frequencies into the molecular system of the carbon-based leaves and the spices and stuff that I'm using for the tea. And I can imprint those, not just with frequencies that scalar, but my own. You can imprint with your own intentions into water, into your drinks, which you're well aware of as well. So I kind of do both. I kind of do an intention when I'm packaging and doing my imprints on my teas, but that just blew me away that I could actually use that scalar to like imprint the loose leaf tea without the water. Because if you're selling things and you're shipping it to people, it's a little hard to ship a container of water with your tea that's been imprinted. But yeah, I just love to incorporate all of these things. And, talking to other people that understand that too is just, it's exciting. And I had that conversation with the lady in the UK, and she was imprinting lip balms, and she was imprinting these things too with her different types of frequency equipment. And I just love it. And we just keep pushing the envelope. I had no idea I could do that. Now that's just kind of an added layer of what, you can do to kind of help heal the body.
Like people said, the minute you open my box of the light, you feel all my energy coming out that I was sticking in it the entire build.
Yeah. And actually, I'm going to go get your light and show it to everybody. Hang on just a minute.
I'll walk real quick and grab some of my crystals. You can see this still set on gold and pink. All right. As you can see, I've got the ones that are bolted, and they're the crystals. They're not the biggest ones that you've got. Same one.
That's the same one?
Yes. And here, you got the Vogel.
Yeah.
And then I think this is my new one. Yes. This is that's my new crystal. That's
wow.
24 and see, definitely bigger.
Yeah.
But that's the new one that I just started getting. So these are the 3 sizes of crystals, and there's one of the selenite.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to order the selenite ones from you too. I meant to do that already, but the gods had other plans on me building a building.
Well, definitely a lot smaller. They can go in that, but they are definitely smaller. They won't take up the width.
Gotcha.
But I can send an adapter so they'll work for you.
Okay.
Do you have a wand yet?
I do not.
And I would go with a selenite wand, and you'd be more happy in the long run, I think.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I just placed one of these in the wand instead of a clear.
Yeah.
And that way you have it for going around the aura really good.
Ooh, but see, that way you could use both at the same time.
Yes, then you still have those going, and you can do the session that way.
And then do your energy work.
Yeah, I have a YouTube session of showing how I do my healings at the events. Someone had kind of recorded for me. And so I can do that. That way you can see how I do the wand and the lights at the same time.
Yeah. So how did you get into energy work?
I was very gifted as a child, and then went through a spell of shutting down. And then at about age 16, I did my first healing. It was on a best friend.
Age 6?
Huh?
Did you say 6?
Oh, I was 16.
Oh, you said 6. I was like, wow.
Oh, I'd done a lot then, but like I said, I had shut back then.
Yeah.
But I pulled my first headache, and from her a migraine, and I didn't clear afterwards.
Ah, so you had it.
Yeah, so my dad yelled at me and told me I had to do it right, and he taught me how to release after, because that is the style of healer I am, is your ailments will mirror onto me, and then I'm able to find them. Like when you were shifting in the chair earlier, you got me with that muscle pull that you had on your right thigh at first. So that's what happens, is it just kind of imprints on me, and then I'm guided to know where I need to work.
Gotcha.
And so
mine's not like that yet. I'm trying to develop my own style, or my own, because I'm not trained. What my guides tell me is that I'm remembering past lives where I've done things. So I would find myself just doing things around the body. I didn't know what I was doing. But then they would tell me later that I was doing light language and meridian.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're coding. Yeah.
But I don't know, like I'm not intentionally doing things. It just kind of flows while I'm with the client. So,
but how often does a medium do her reading and they can't recall what was said later because you're channeling?
Yes.
So you're doing everything correct. When you go into your healing zone, you are allowing to channel through and do the light language that's required for the healing. So you don't need to be aware.
Yes. And so I started asking some of the other Reiki masters and healers that I work with, and I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, what is this? And what am I doing when I'm doing this? And like they would tell me, and it kind of helped me understand a little bit more. But yeah, it just I get prompted to do certain things, and I just let it happen. And of course, I have
their healing guides, and they take over.
My guides pretty much, heal. And what's funny is I had a lady that had abilities that I was working on. Of course, I didn't know her. She didn't tell me that. And in one session, she looked up at me and she said, "Why is there an Indian man brushing your hair holding a fox behind you?" I said, "I don't know, but I think the fox was here at lunchtime because I had a client whose email was Foxhound Farms." And I said, "I think he's been here since lunch." But she said he was behind my hair, like behind me, just doing this. And I just felt like he was doing the healing through me.
Yes.
Even though I wasn't aware of his presence, I'm aware there's something there.
And see, I usually have 2 healing guides that'll come through during my sessions, but sometimes the client's guide will not, they will flat out tell me to move, that they will do the session.
Yes. Another client said the same thing.
Let's say the place form.
Yeah, like she told me she could see the energy, the green energy in my hands with her eyes closed. And then she said at one point she realized there were multiple hands above her. And she said, I opened my eyes and looked, and you were sitting down in the chair. And I said, yes, ma'am. I said, when I'm working on you, there's periods where I get told, okay, go sit down, and we're taking over. And I'm like, okay.
So awesome. I had little feisty ones tell me, move.
Yeah.
Move.
Yeah. Yeah. So like when you, I had not figured out who they were. And then like when we had talked once, you know, so you said, oh, your guides are here. And one of them saying she's the one that helps you heal people. And of course my ego was like, oh, Egyptian high priestess. Like, who is it? You know, like who's helping me heal people? And then, you know, you started explaining who it was. And I was like, hell, that's just Granny. But my grandmother has took on that role. She was a part in my life where it didn't matter what we were doing as kids. If we were taking karate or swimming or Girl Scouts, whatever it was, she was involved as well. And so that makes total sense that since I am trying to go into this healing and adventure of helping people, that she would not be doing her best to help me from the other side as well. So that kind of cracked me up. And I actually had another healer that works with me. He was working on me, and he said, your grandmother came in and she was trying to tell me what to do. And she was like, okay, that's enough of that. Now let's do this over here. And he was like, I got it. But she's just, she's a little bossy. But she means well, you know, but I thought that was so funny because I let myself think, oh, you know, who's this God that I have? And it ended up my main God in this healing building is my grandmother. So
that's awesome. That really is.
It is. So I even like keep her picture here, like she's here, you know, because every time I have a client that has abilities or anything, they bring her up. They're like, you know, your grandmother's here. And I'm like, yep.
Always.
always here. But that's beautiful too. And I get the impression that she also tells me like, I'm here to help you until you no longer need me. So, you know, I enjoy working with her right now, but it is neat to, like you said, to acknowledge that sometimes when you are healing your clients that, you know, you do have help. And I'm glad you also said that they tell you sometimes to sit down too, and they kind of take over because you're just kind of providing that space for them to work.
Exactly.
Yeah. So is there any funny stories you have with your guides or anything that you can share?
I'm not really sure. Main thing is just that one healing guide. I've got one that she's just a feisty. At first, my first healing guide was a gentleman. I've never seen his face. There's no reason to see it. He's very, I kind of get an image of almost like a flat nose, but I don't need to see his face. That's pretty much what I've been told.
Yeah.
He was there. He was helping me do a lot of healings, a lot of work. And then one day out of the blue, me and another friend kind of went on a journey together, and she thought it was her guide. And I realized, no, she's not. Fine. Yeah. And she's mean. She's just like one of those shit or get off the pot kind of healers.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the one that, like, when I do that chakra balancing, I think I did it for you that one time where I showed you how I can do like the roller coaster.
No, I don't think so, but I'm up for it.
It's really cool. She's kind of like that. Is you'll feel it, you'll know it's done, let's get it done. Hers is very adamant and feisty. She's just a short little chubby gal, and she just like waddles in and means business, you know, and
Yeah.
she's strong. And
Yeah. That's how Granny is. I think she told one client that had mediumship abilities that when I get out of line or don't listen, she actually takes her hips and like bumps me. You know, she's like, she gets out of line, I'll get her back on track, you know, or but she was always that way in this lifetime. You know, it was, you never went to visit my grandmother to sit on the couch and watch cartoons. Like, you know, we had stuff to do, you know, and so she's continuing to be busy on the other side as well. And I'm very thankful that she and the other guides that helped me, um, you know, are helping me. I feel one thing I'll ask you about, like, there's times where I know when I heal, some healers get really hot in their hands, and I don't experience that, but then my clients do. So that's a little confusing, like what's going on when the heat, is that a receiving energy or releasing energy? What is your experience on that?
well, a lot of the time I don't get all that heated.
Yeah.
I'm ambidextrous, and I am one that is really not, I don't believe that Reiki is cookie cutter. I don't believe shamanic healing is cookie cutter.
Yeah.
But I've learned, people are like, oh, you send with this hand, you receive with that hand. No, I don't. If I see something, I'm going to grab it, I'm going to pull it. If I feel something else, I'm going to give energy. There is no, don't, when it comes to being a healer,
Yeah.
go as you're drawn, because you're not going to do it wrong.
Yeah.
And I think some people are sensitive, they're going to feel the heat, others don't.
Yeah.
I know if I leave this mess down long, I'm going to get heated, but it's just because the nape of my neck is just done.
That's what happens with me. I feel a lot of, when I channel and stuff, the back of my neck gets really hot. Don't feel it in my hands as much. Now, if I feel like I'm working with a really high frequency entity, I mean, I get hit with emotion like right in the face. I'll start crying. Let's like get like you're watching, you know, Old Yeller get, you know, it's just like I'll have this intense emotion hit me. Um, and that's just how I perceive it. Like there's a high frequency entity in the room. It doesn't always happen, but when I'm working with certain clients, you know, that emotional will come on to where I, just for maybe 5 minutes, I get very emotional, and I'll like kind of tell them, you know, step back a little bit or something, because their frequency is so high, it hits me that way. But that's kind of the only things I feel. The rest of mine is just more intuitive. You know, go here, touch there, hover here, you know, release this. And I just kind of, like I said, I don't know exactly what I'm doing because I'm not trained, but I definitely have had other people and myself pick up on the fact that there's guidance there, and I'm just a conduit. I'm just there to provide, you know, that sacred space to allow that to happen.
And you are trained. Like you said, if you wasn't trained, you wouldn't be coding.
No. Yeah, I know. I mean, I know I'm trained, but you know what I mean? Like I haven't went to someone and said, oh, teach me how to do so-and-so. But along my spiritual journey, I have learned a lot. Like, for instance, your likes and your fears have a lot of clues to who you have been, your experiences. And I loved the movie Xanadu when I was little. And all I remember is like they're on these roller skates, and like, oh, Olivia Newton-John, she's skating around and she's yellow, you know, and then here comes this dude and he's coming by and he's got purple, you know, it's like a rainbow behind him. And that just drew me in as a child. Like, I know that looks familiar. And here I am working with color therapy and chakras and auras and energy. And now I know why a 3 or 4-year-old child sitting in front of the TV went, it's because I've seen that before. You know, I've worked with that before. And as a teenager, I had a book on sign language, and like I was obsessed with it. I couldn't put the book away, but then I didn't really want to learn how to fluently speak sign language. And then as an adult, I find myself working with my hands and doing stuff. And then I find cards on hand mudras and how you these are your remote controls to like focus energy and send energy and work with energy. And it's like, wait a minute. You start to pick up on, oh, I have done this before. No wonder that was interesting to me. So all the things that you're doing now, I have a feeling you've worked with that before as well. You've built pyramids before. You've built wands. You've worked with copper. You've worked with ley lines, is what they're telling me, and grids and energy. We're just waking back up to that.
The funny thing is, I was obsessed with Xanadu. I was obsessed with sign language. I was so, yes, we're connected again in other similarities.
Yeah, like, I don't know. It's like, my mother would be talking about, me watching a ballet performance when I was like 3, like just sitting in front of the TV. And it's just so crazy and I've had some past life regressions, and, you it's kind of hard to explain. Like, I love fireplaces. I love sitting at the fire, outside. Love it. But someone pushes a bunch of like trees down and builds this huge bonfire, and they set that thing on fire. I got to go. Like, I don't know what it is, but yeah, I'm going in the house and I'm pulling the blinds. Makes me nervous, and I'm not a nervous person.
You have like heritage, dealt with Salem or what?
When I was regressed, she was like, you've chosen to reincarnate as a healer, a witch, a nurse. You've chosen this lifestyle over and over again. And so, yeah, I probably have met my demise a couple of times because people don't like people that are different. They don't like things they don't understand. They fear them. And then you get to thinking, like, why was she afraid of drowning? She never had an episode as a child where she had a near drowning experience. Why was she so scared of that? And then you get to analyzing your likes and your dislikes and your fears. And then you learn that, it's based on experiences that you've already had. You just don't remember them. You're just bringing that emotion into this lifetime. So it's really exciting to, I really feel like my guides keep telling me, like, I don't know if you remember those books, because I'm not a huge reader, but they were called Choose Your Own Adventure books. And I remember as a teenager, I'd pick it up, and this guy's walking through the jungle, and it's like, oh, do you want to turn and go down by the beach, or do you want to go back up to the mountain? And it's like, okay, turn to page 10. Okay, well, I fall in quicksand and die. Okay, let's go this way. You got to a point where you're at a crossroads, and you got to pick, what are you going to do? And my guides keep bringing these books up to me. Like, this is the year to choose your own adventure. This is the year to create whatever you want to create. And that's so exciting to me, to be at a point where, I've been a mom and a nurse and taking care of all these people my whole life, but now it's time to sit back and say, I want to learn more about who I am. Why do I have these interests? And why am I being drawn to do these things and connect with people like you? And it's very exciting that I feel like I'm currently writing my Choose Your Own Adventure book, and so are so many other people.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And just when you think, oh, it's just going to be a couple of wands, now you're building pyramids, and like, what's next? And it's very exciting.
I know I sent it to you. Let me look. Run through our messages real quick. I know I sent it. I had to.
All right. So do you have, like, tell everybody what your Etsy store is and like how to contact you, and I will let you get back to your busy day of creating. But I am so thankful that you decided to jump on, and let's just get caught up and have a chit chat.
Well, ways to track me down would be, I do have a Facebook page. It's Lori's Copper and Color Therapy Lights, I think is what it's called.
Okay.
And I do have I have an Etsy shop, which is copper therapy lights. I try to keep all my lights listed in there to where
Yeah,
you.
that's how I found you.
And I also have a TikTok, which shows some of the reels of the quick, like me doing healing sessions, things like that.
Okay.
I think I have that as L. Stevens Chakra Lights. Yes, I did just look you up. I stalked you well. You were number 367 is your light number.
6, 7.
Because I sent the screenshot to you showing you which number you were.
I think I still have it. I remember, but I just got the feeling like you were still, even though that's a huge accomplishment to sell 300. I still felt like that was still in the young stages of what you had that you were going to do.
I hope so, because I'm at 427 now, so still going.
Yeah, well, it hadn't been that long, really. That was probably like what, last summer?
I think so.
Yeah, because if I bought the building, I got it. Okay, it would have been around April or May when I probably bought that from you because that's when I was actually at the salon in the massage room that I bought the lights.
Yeah, because you hadn't stopped.
I hadn't bought the building
I
yet.
scrolling through our messages, I found where you said you were getting ready to start building, and you showed me the area of the land.
Yeah. So what's funny about that story is that's kind of how my gods aggravate me is they started putting little downloads in my brain about these portable buildings. I didn't really pay much attention. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, but this I'm kind of doing this right now, you know. And then one of our other healers were talking to me one day, and he said, I really just think we need to buy one of those portable buildings. And I was like, what? It's like your gods get to where they're like, okay, she's not listening. she's not, we're gonna have to get somebody else to tell her. And I actually had to go through one more person and was like, look, I know you can connect to, let me tell you what I'm getting, what's going on. And you tell me, like, am I really supposed to go buy this building? And she was like, oh yeah, I was getting a yes before you even finished your story. And I was like, well, dang, I broke. It's like, am I going to buy a building? And it just all worked out, it just did. I'm a fire sign, so once I make up my mind on something, it's like, so I think within a week, I had already found the building, signed the contract, and then I had to wait about 3 weeks for them to bring it out. But yeah, so I'm just kind of laughing about this whole waterbed thing because, they keep telling me about this last room that's supposed to be water related. And the joke with that is, I was like, okay, I hear you. Okay, all right. And then I get in the car to take my kids to school one morning, and the radio station comes on, and he says, well, okay, guys, we're gonna, pretend like it's 1983, and we're gonna like talk about the price of eggs and what's going on today, and like we're gonna go to town, and we may even go shopping for a waterbed. And I'm like, are you serious? Like, okay. So now I keep getting on Facebook Market every day and looking for water beds because I'm just know that something's going to fall in my lap. And but I don't need a king size one. I need one of those little, just the skinny. I think they call it a super slim or something.
Well, you can just build the frame yourself and just buy a replacement bladder.
Yeah, they told me that too.
Sure.
Yeah, but my mom is like, she's amazing. She can bake, she can sew, she can help. She's without her, I couldn't have done what I've done out in the building. She's a framer. She wired the whole building, the fuse box, and I mean, I just had to hire someone to attach it to the house. She's amazing, and I guess I just don't want to tell her right at the moment, hey, we got to build a waterbed frame. We hadn't got the room finished yet, but I'll let her know later.
My she shed should have been built a while ago. It still hasn't, but I know what I want. I know where it's going to be.
Yeah.
And it's going to be like 16 by 20, and it's going to have a large front room area.
Yeah.
that will have all my different lights and stuff in there, and it'll be my sneak out there escape.
Yeah. So like I ended up, you can see I've got a water station here with a sink. And I've got just pretty much, I don't know if I can turn the computer around. I've got just a few shelves with crystals and stuff on it. And then I have just this pretty good sized lobby area that where they come in. I've got a bench here. And then the hallway breaks off just with 3 treatment rooms. I've got my Rife Spooky 2 equipment with a massage bed in there that's got just, right now I've got like a 5-layer crushed crystal PEMF mat they can, stay on when they're getting their treatments. And then the next room is where I've got your crystal healing lights. I've got the sound bed, the projector where everything's more, I wanted it to be like a total sensory envelopment. So you're feeling the vibrations, you've got the heat, you've got the lights. I even have like aromatherapy, the mister going. I just wanted it to be enveloping. So that's kind of that room. And then this third one that I've just got to finish, they keep telling me it's going to have a lot of hanging plants and fountains and water themed. And when you said that about the pyramids, and the energy was just real, the way you described it, it's almost like they were kicking me like, like, yeah, you need that too. So yeah, I mean, it's been a wonderful journey to go on to learn how to connect with my guides. I was also told I was a physical medium.